Hi class, we need to take a look at the next section. So the next section deals with approximating integrals, and here's the idea. So you're going to have a function, and all of this is going to work assuming that you have a continuous function. You also have a closed interval, and then for us to get an accurate approximation on a real life scenario, the value of n, which represents how many actual intervals you're actually obtaining, should be really large. Now, since we're just going to be doing some of these approximations by hand, we're not going to go past the values of 4. That's because, well, doing it by hand, for some of the methods like Simpson's method, n has to be even, 2 is really small, and then anything beyond 4 for an approximation that we're doing by hand may get extremely messy. And also, we're going to carry a little bit of error because each of these evaluations, I'm just going to ask you to keep about 4 decimal places. So nonetheless, these are very good approximations if you don't have the actual integral in closed form. And if we're using technology, any of these 3 would be fine. But the one that actually approximates the integral best for a smooth function is basically method number C, Simpson's rule. For n very large, it's going to converge to the integral faster than the other 2 methods. So if we were doing this on a real life scenario, we would definitely ignore midpoint, trapezoidal rule, and jump into Simpson's rule. But since most of these are using computers, then in that case, well, it is only time that the first 2 methods may take longer to calculate and to actually have the same accuracy. But Simpson is the best one from these 3. Okay, so let's take a look at the first example. Now, on the first example, all they want us to do is basically evaluate the integral and provide a sketch. And that's because we're going to be doing some of the methods to actually, we'll compare the approximations. Since the value of n, it's going to be small by doing these by hand, we're going to carry a lot of error in the calculations, but they're good enough for us to get an idea. Now, if we were going to evaluate the actual integral, we would be looking at 0 to the values of pi of the sinh function of x dx, and in this case, we're just going to get the cosh function of x, which we're going to evaluate from 0 to pi. So in this case, we're going to get that this is the cosh of 0, cosh of pi, minus the cosh of 0. And then from here, you can evaluate it and obtain a decimal approximation. Let me plug it in. So I'm getting that on the cosh of pi, this is approximately 11.592 minus the cosh of 0. That's going to be 1. So we're getting that the integral, it's approximately, well, 10.592. That's carrying 3 decimal places. Okay, now they want us to provide a sketch of the function that we're actually evaluating, and we already graphed the sinh function a while ago. I'll just provide a sketch, and it doesn't have to be exact, well, an exact function of your sketch, but this one looks like if it was a tangent. So it's going to look like this, obviously not to scale, but I'm just going to say that's 0, and technically this is the values of pi. And the approximate area that we're obtaining, or what the integral is evaluating, it's technically this portion here. So this portion here in terms of area, it's approximately 10.592 using the actual integral, which is, well, technically the exact value. So the exact value, it's actually the cosh of pi minus the cosh of 0, which is a decimal approximation, is 10.592. Now, for part B, they want us to use trapezoidal rule with n is equal to 4. So for any problems on any future examinations, I'm not going to ask for longer than 4 because it becomes really messy. And then the moment that we miss one term, the whole thing is off. And we're going to carry a little bit more error because we typically just carry 4 decimal places by hand. Okay, so let's take a look at the formula. Now, this is the formula for trapezoidal rule. And we're going to have to find all of the x's, and then we pretty much plug them into this formula. Careful with the b minus a over 2n, which multiplies the function evaluations. Now, let me show you how to find the x's. So your first step on any approximation is to find the x's. So the first step is going to be to find delta x. Now, delta x is b minus a divided by n. So the actual integral goes from 0 to pi. So technically, pi minus 0 divided by 4. This is going to be pi over 4. And we're using a is equal to 0, b is equal to pi, and n is equal to 4. So technically, our delta x, which allows us to find the x's, is pi over 4. Now, the x values. And for the x values, I'm just going to follow the formula. The formula on trapezoidal rule starts at x is equal to 0. So technically, it starts here. It starts at a, and then it goes all the way to b. So we're going to be using the following formula for the x's. That is going to be that x of 0 is equal to technically a, or 0. Now x of 1 in every one of the following x's, it's going to have the following formula. And this is so that the actual, well, x's are spaced out evenly. And I'm talking about these spaces. So we follow the following formula. Technically 0, which is x of 0, plus 1 times delta x. So in this case, and this is a formula that we're going to be applying to each one of the x's. So in this case, let me just evaluate. This is 0 plus 1 times pi over 4, or the values of pi over 4 for x of 1. The next term is going to be x of 2. This is going to be 0 plus 2 pi over 4, or technically pi over 2. Next term that's going to show up, it's going to be x of 3. This is equal to 0 plus 3 times pi over 4, or delta x. So I'm just modifying this formula, which in this case is just going to give us 3 pi over 4. As you can see, it's a little bit time consuming, and a minor error is going to throw everything off. So in future classes, you would be quoting these to basically minimize human error. So x of 4 is equal to 0 plus 4 times pi over 4, or your delta x, which is equal to pi. Now, this is how you know that you basically haven't made a mistake. Following the formula, it's basically going to give you all of the actual values from starting at 0, which happens to be a, and you end up at b. So what that formula is actually doing is spacing out the x's. So we're talking about the spacing in here. Okay, so the last portion is that by using trapezoidal rule, and this is with n is equal to 4, you can approximate the integral from 0 to pi of the sinh function of x, which is going to be approximately, and the formula has a b minus a over 2n. So in this case, pi minus 0 divided by 2 times 4, which is just going to be pi over 8. And then trapezoidal rule uses the following formula. It evaluates f of x0 and f of xn. Every one of the ones in between, it's going to have a factor of a 2. So you have to make sure that you don't forget the 2, and I'm talking about all these 2 for all the values in between. So in this case, we're just going to be evaluating, and let me do this in purple. So the first one is going to be f of 0 plus 2 times f of pi over 4 plus 2 times f of pi over 2 plus 2 times f of 3 pi over 4 plus, and then the last one, it's going to have an f of pi, and then close this up. So I'm using the 2's, which is going to multiply every one of those, obviously using the function f. So this is f of x as the actual sinh, as the actual sinh of x. Okay, so for every one of the following values, I'm just going to use 4 decimal approximations. So let me find the sinh function first. Okay, so f of 0, I'm just getting an output of 0 for this one. So it's going to be just 0 plus, and the next one is going to be 2 times the sinh of pi over 4. So pi over 4. And I'm just going to keep 4 decimal places, 1.7373. So 7373 plus. Then the next one is going to be 2 times the sinh of pi over 2. And I'm getting this to be 4.6026 plus, and then 2 times 3 pi over 4. It's going to be 10.4559 plus a regular sinh of pi. So this is 11.5487. Okay, so this is supposed to be an 87. Okay, at this point, please plug it in, and don't forget to multiply the pi over 8. Okay, so I'm getting that this is approximately 11.1309. Now this is what I'm getting by using the approximation, and also we're carrying a little bit of more error because I'm rounding all of these to 4. So normally we would have code, and the code would evaluate, well, basically all the way to like 9 decimals. As you can see, and let me just show you what it looks like. Carrying more gives you 11.1309 and, well, a couple more decimal places. Ideally, you want to have n to be as large as possible. And if I increase it to as much as the software allows me to do, you can see that it approximates what we found